So, how'd you like that one? What a game. What a game. And normally, what usually happens, or what always happens, is the Leafs don't win those games. But tonight was different. There's just a few points I want to talk about that happened throughout the game that are really noteworthy, just, to highlight. So first of all, the tying goal that Ryan O'Reilly had, there was under a minute left in the game, and the goalie was pulled. They don't call him the factor for nothing. Ryan O'Reilly comes up clutch in tight and scores on Vasilevsky. So that right there, that was clutch, big time. And then I want to talk about the overtime winner. The OT winner is something that the Leafs just don't do. That's the time. Those are the games you can expect to lose. When it was going into overtime tonight, I thought for sure, I was, talking myself through, not to be disappointed. It was good that they came back and tied it up late, but, I think they're going to lose in overtime like they always do. And then, it goes from O'Reilly at the faceoff to Rielly, and he just, harmlessly just throws it on net because, it's never a bad play when you don't have anything, is just throw it on net. And it eluded Vasilevsky, and there you go. Leafs win the game. Speaking of Braden Point, when he crashed into the boards. So first of all, I'm relieved that Point was able to come back into the game, because that crash, it really looked ugly. It looked really bad. And, especially at the speed that they're going. And him and Morgan Rielly are fighting for position. And it wasn't malicious intent at all. I think Braden Point even might have hit a rut in the ice, but lost his balance. But he went in really hard. And Rielly was right behind him. And it was a really risky play. Like, man, I'm so surprised that Point got out of there unscathed, because it really looked bad. And then, of course, the officials calling a 5-minute major boarding call on Morgan Rielly, and that was just so that they could review the play, just to see what really transpired there. So when they went back and they reviewed that play, initially they said, okay, well, Rielly doesn't even have a penalty. We saw the play. We got to review it, and Rielly didn't do anything to cause that play to happen. But in a 5-minute major, the least that you can have is 2 minutes. So Rielly was in the box for 2 minutes, really essentially for nothing. Samsonov, I want to mention Samsonov saving 36 out of 39. He definitely saved this game in the second period for the Leafs and kept them in it, because the Leafs just didn't have it in the second. Not at all. And Tampa completely took over the game. But it was nice to see Samsonov stepping up large and keeping them in the game during that second period. He also kept him in the game during the overtime period as well. And we'll get to that. But I want to talk about the goal after the whistle. So before, there was two of them actually. So the first one, the goal counted. Samsonov thought he had it, and it squeaked through when I think it was Point actually that kind of just, stuck his stick through there, nudged and knocked the puck into the net. Initially that was called a no goal, and they went back and they reviewed it, and it was a goal. Then there was another goal that was called off, and after reviewing it, it was no goal, because it was a goal after the whistle essentially. So here's an important point to note, that the first goal that was called a goal, it was kind of like already happening The play was already taking place, and the puck was just going through its natural progression when the whistle was blown. That's why it counted. But then in the second goal that wasn't counted was because the referee lost sight of the puck, so he blew the play dead. So that's what happens. It goes both ways for both teams throughout, the regular season and playoffs. I'm sure everyone has seen that with just about every team where, the ref loses sight of the puck and the whistle gets blown. And that's just how it is. Would I have been upset if it happened to the Leafs? Absolutely. And I imagine it probably did happen against the Leafs in other playoff games. And yeah, so it's nice to see the bounces and things just go the Leafs' way this time, because we've certainly been waiting a long time for, something to go our way. So that goal didn't count because it was after the whistle. In the overtime period, Kucherov, he was really taking runs at players from behind and, late, or just completely disregard where the puck is. It's long gone, and Kucherov's running people over. Just complete interference. But the good thing is the Leafs didn't retaliate, and they just stuck with it. They were totally overwhelmed in the overtime period for the first, few minutes, for almost all of it, where, Tampa just wanted to end it, and they were working hard to do that. And there was a lot of pucks on net, and Samsonov was coming up huge with all these big saves. And then, of course, in the dying minutes of overtime, they have that face-off, and Rielly scores. So it was good to see that the Leafs didn't retaliate to all of the antics Kucherov was doing and a few other Tampa players doing in that overtime period. They just stuck with it. They played hard. They played between the whistles, and they were rewarded for it. And I can't remember the last time something like this has worked in Toronto's favor. Usually, I'm talking myself up between the third intermission there, just before the overtime period, and I'm just kind of, trying to brace myself for an overtime loss. It's that frequent. We never win overtime games, especially when it counts. But tonight was different, so, there's hoping, and it really does feel good to get that kind of a win. And hats off to the D-Corps tonight. They had 26 blocked shots. So they really committed to the game, to the style that the Leafs play. And they really worked hard, and they really sacrificed. And, of course, Matthew Knies with his first assist, his first playoff assist. So congratulations to Matthew Knies. He's going to be one heck of a player. Already he's, noticeable in these games. A few mistakes here and there, but okay, they're able to cover up for it, and he will learn the more he gets comfortable and the more practices and the more he's playing with, more of the players on the team already. So, buckle up next year, because I think he's going to go on a big tear on his rookie season. In Austin Matthews fighting Stamkos. So, that's the thing. Austin Matthews wasn't even looking at Stamkos, and Stamkos was kind of looking around after that point incident, after, point was clobbered into the boards. So I guess Stamkos felt that he needed to grab somebody. So he grabbed Austin Matthews from behind, and Austin Matthews is standing there talking to the ref. He's got two sticks in his hand. He's still got his gloves on, and all of a sudden he's getting attacked from behind. So he kind of spins around, loses the gloves and stick. He's getting hit in the face. He throws a few hits. They fall to the ice. I think Stammer just took it to the ice. Austin Matthews didn't even really have his balance. But Stammer took it to the ice, and the referee jumped in right away. but Stammer was still trying to throw some punches when they were down. And Austin Matthews, he was close to having a Gordie Howe hat trick. All he needed was one assist, and he would have had a Gordie Howe hat trick. Imagine a 60-point player or 60 goal scoring player having a Gordie Howe hat trick. And again, they announced in the game tonight that with the Matthews and Stamkos fight, that's the first time in the league where two 60 goal scorers fought. So that's something else. With Vasilevsky, this is only his second time that he's lost in like 36 playoff games where he lost a back-to-back game. So this was a statement game for the Leafs, even though they were struggling tonight, and it just went their way. They got a few of the calls to go their way. They got a bit of luck, and that's the kind of thing you need in the playoffs. So a game like this, where they're getting outplayed at certain points in time, especially that second period and the majority of the overtime period, this is the kind of game that galvanizes a team, because even though they're going through rough patches, they just stick with the game. They stick up for each other right when, Point and Rielly went into the boards. They just stuck with the game, and they defended each other. They fought for each other. So they're getting closer as a team. And, they're only going to get better from here, because this is kind of proving that, if we just stick to our system, forget all of the antics after the whistle, just, turn away from that kind of stuff. Don't retaliate, but at the same time, stick up for each other. They're going to start believing that more, especially after a character win like this tonight. And that can only benefit them moving forward. But the series is definitely far from over. They got to realize that. And veterans like Achari and O'Reilly in that room, they're going to be telling them that the series is far from over. We can't take our foot off the pedal. Every game counts. Every shift counts. You have to win every shift in order to, knock these guys out. But it's, again, like I said, it's far from over. The Leafs lead the series 2-1. There's still a lot of hockey left. It's the best of 7. So let's hope that they can just hang on and just push through this and win 2 more games to get past the first round. That would be, about time, obviously, right? It's been like 7 straight years of no second rounds. So there's got to be a breakthrough at some point. Why not this time? So that's it for me. I want to thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe and click the bell notifications so you can be notified every time I upload a video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video. Go Leafs, go!